Assalamualaikum. My name is Zaina Malik and I am going to present Biopolymers and I am presenting it to Dr. Hammad Majeed. First of all, there is a table of the contents, what I am going to discuss and what I am going to present. First is the introduction, properties, difference between the biopolymers and the synthetic polymers, classification of the biopolymers, application of the biopolymer in biomedical sciences, in industries, in cosmetics, nanotechnology, statistics, advantages, disadvantages, future prospects, and conclusion. There is the introduction of the biopolymer, its definition as well. Biopolymers are the polymers produced from the natural sources. They can either be chemically synthesized from biological material or biosynthesized by living organisms. These are made up of monomeric units bonded together by covalent bonds. They can also be defined as biopolymers are derived from living organisms like plants and microbes. They are renewable resources, unlike most polymers, which are petroleum based polymers. They can means those obtained from the natural products, we call them as biopolymers, as they are obtained from the living organisms, so that is why they are called as biopolymers. Biopolymers are promising material owing to their characteristics like abundance. They are abundant in nature, they are present in greater percentages, they are biocompatible and biodegradable, and their unique properties like non-toxicity. In addition to their many essential roles in living organisms, biopolymers have application in many fields including the food industry, manufacturing, packaging, and biomedical engineering. So, how we can extract the biopolymers from the plants or from the natural products? Firstly, from the plant biomass, we get the sugar or the plant oil, from where we get the monomers of the desired polymer, and as a result, in vitro or in vivo synthesis, we get the biopolymer. In vitro synthesis, in the chemical synthesis, we get the biopolymer, and in vivo synthesis, we can also get the biopolymer. After that, biopolymer is formed, they can be biodegraded with the help of the enzyme depolymerase, and this enzyme is isolated from the microorganism, and as a result, carbon dioxide is produced, which can be utilized again by the plants during the photosynthesis. So this is how the cycle goes on, and this is how it is extracted and obtained or formed. Next, properties of the biopolymers. Biopolymers are renewable. Renewable means they can be utilized again and again. They can be present anytime. They are obtained from the renewable resources. They are non-thrombogenic, means they don't cause thrombosis. And thrombosis means they don't cause thrombi. They don't make thrombus in the living organism. They are non-immunogenic, means they don't affect the immune system or immunity of the living organisms. They are biodegradable. They can be degraded by living organism. They can be degraded by microorganism as enzyme, means enzymatic degradation can be done. Enzymatic degradation means enzyme is used to degrade the biopolymer, and this enzyme is obtained from the microorganism, so that is why we call them as they are biodegradable. They are non-toxic, means they have no toxic effect on the environment. They are sustainable. They help in sustainability and sustainability achievements, and they help to reduce carbon footprint, so help in carbon neutrality. Next, difference between the biopolymer and synthetic polymer, how they are different from them. First of all, on the basis of the structure, in the structure they are different, means biopolymers have well-defined structure, whereas synthetic polymers have simple and random structure. Degradability, if we talk about degradability, biopolymers are degradable, whereas mostly synthetic polymers are non-biodegradable. Renewability, biopolymers are renewable, whereas some synthetic polymers are renewable, but mostly are non-renewable. Next, we have categorized them or classified the biopolymers on the basis of the origin, number of monomeric unit, degradability, and heat response. First of all, there is the classification on the basis of the type. Firstly, there is a sugar-based polymers, then starch-based, cellulose-based, and synthetic material. All of these uh, products are natural products and they are obtained from the plant, so we can call them as plant-based polymer or biopolymer as well. Firstly, if we talk about the example of the sugar-based polymers, so there is a lactic acid polymer which can be made from the lactose using potatoes, maize, and other sources as they are obtained from the plant, as they are plant. So we get these polymer from the plant. We call them as plant-based polymer, as well as the main product is the sugar, so they are called as sugar-based polymers. Next is the starch-based polymer. Starch is a natural polymer made up of glucose molecule and we get them or obtain them from the plant. Next is the cellulose polymer, as the cell wall of the plant cell is made of cellulose. So we can also get them from the plant as well. This polymer is composed of glucose monomeric unit derived from the natural sources such as cotton, as cotton is pure cellulose and is used for packaging material, for example cellophane. Synthetic material derived from petroleum can be used to create biodegradable polymer, can be used to create, but all are not biodegradable. Next, on the basis of the origin, natural biopolymer. These are the biopolymers produced naturally by living organism. As we obtain from the living organism, so they are called as natural biopolymer. Those which are obtained from the living organism but can be synthesized, these are called as synthetic biopolymer. These are biodegradable polymer created from renewable ingredients such as polylactic acid. Next is the microbial biopolymer, those which we obtain from the microorganism. For example, from the fungi, we get the chitin or the chitin as it is present in the cell wall of the fungi. So, as we have obtained from the microorganism, so these are called as microbial biopolymer. Next, on the basis of the monomeric unit, we classify them as polysaccharide, protein, and polynucleotides. Uh, as polysaccharide. These are either branching or linear carbohydrate chains. For example, starch and cellulose. Starch is a polymer of glucose. Cellulose is also a polymer of glucose. It is just different in the structure on the basis of the glycosidic linkage when the glucose unit covalently bonded. Then, as a result, in the bonding, just the difference lies here. Otherwise, they both are the polymers of the polysaccharide units of the glucose. Next is the proteins. Proteins are the polymers made up of amino acid, as millions of um, amino acid combine in a chain and they form the protein. And common example are collagen and fibrin. Fibrin are present in the fibers and in the muscle fibers, and collagen are also present in the matrix and the muscles. Next is the polynucleotides. Long polymer chain made up of 13 or more monomeric units make up nucleic acid, DNA, RNA, and these are the examples of the polynucleotides. Next, its application in biomedical. First of all, biopolymers are employed in tissue engineering, medications, and drug delivery. For how they are being used in engineering and how they are being used in drug delivery to target the drug and improve the medication, collagen and chitin can be utilized. Means what type of the biopolymer we can utilize in the drug delivery? They are the chitin and the collagen. And in the tissue culture engineering, what type of the biopolymers are used? Let's see. Tissue engineering use both collagen and chitin. These are extremely permeable. Why we use them? Because they're permeable and allowing wounds to heal quickly. So they heal the wounds. That is why we use them here. Next, polypeptides are cheap and easy to come by. Thus, they are used in variety of biomedical products. Next, where are the biopolymers are used? First of all, in the wound healing, what type of the biopolymer, from where the biopolymers are extracted and then they are used for wound healing. We can get the biopolymers from fungi, means chitin, from the algae, means allignate, from bacteria, from the plants such as starch and cellulose and natural rubber, from the animal like collagen, hyaluronic acid and chitosan. These are being extracted from these organism, and as a result we use them for wound healing. Next is the drug delivery. How they are being used in the drug delivery. They can be used as microcapsules, in the form of micro nanospheres, in the form of hydrogels, conjugated compounds, liposomes, and in the form of micelles as well. Next, for tissue engineering, how they are being used. They are being used in the surgeries of the tendons and the ligaments as well. For the bone fractures, for the bone plates, ligaments, tendons, muscles, lung, and cartilage. These all are the areas where we use biopolymers. Next, biosensors, we use them in the respirations and respiratory sensors, cardiac sensors, implantable sensors, uh, sweat sensors, wearable sensors, and blood pressure sensors. Next, industrial uses, means where they are being used in industry. Chitosan also used in places to prevent microbe growth. Microbe growth means where microorganisms are unnecessary. They are being used here. PHA, polylactic acid, and starch are commonly used in packaging material, and they all are polymers. Means they are all the polysaccharides. We can say biopolymers are implied in the automotive industry, in the automobiles, in the vehicles as well. They are being used. Next, they are utilized in the interior decoration building business, because chitosan possesses capabilities that remove the metal from the water. Means they help in preventing corrosion as well. To boost the desirable qualities of concrete, biopolymers are added to the cement and increases or decreases or modify the setting time of the cement during the preparation process or the manufacturing process. Next, in the cosmetic industry, in cosmeceuticals, their biopolymers are of three kinds which are being used, are implemented. First is the protein, such as collagen, soy protein, gluten, and biologically active peptides. They are being used as proteins. Next, polysaccharides such as chitosan, gums, chitin, dextrin, pectin, carrageenan, some of them obtained from the fungi, some of them obtained from the algae, and they are being used for skincare and anti-aging, and they are used in the cosmetic products like in lipsticks, in sunblocks, and in the creams as well, anti-aging creams, etc. Next, nucleic acid used in cosmetic surgeries. Now, nanomaterial synthesis, how they are being involved in the nanomaterial synthesis. So, biopolymers have been broadly utilized as capping and reducing agent for the synthesis of various nanoparticles. Biopolymers like chitosan, heparin, soluble starch, cellulose, gelatin, polyvinyl acetate, polyvinyl pyrrolidine, PHB, they can be utilized to supplant different harmful reagents in synthesizing different nanoparticles. Now, in metabolic engineering, are how they are being used to synthesize the nanomaterial. We utilize two process or two method. First method is the oil seed crop. From the oil seed crop, we get the PHP granules, and PHP granules, from the oilseed crop we get the PHP granules, and these PHP granules, when being grinded, we can extract the seed oil and PHP as the isolated products. Then from by burning the seed oil, we can get the energy, and the PHP is being utilized for various purposes, like for the manufacturing of the plastic, chemicals, and food supplements. Next one, the biomass crop, means which is the biomass of the crop, which is the biomass of the plant. So from here we can also extract the php granules. Php granules, when being grinded, they can be used as the lignocellulosic biomass. As lignin is one of the material of the plant, so it is being used as that biomass or as that product. And phb, we again both get them as the extracted, the isolated product. And the lignocellulosic biomass, when being degraded or decomposed, it releases the energy and it is used for various purposes. And phd is used in manufacturing of the plastic, chemical and food supplement. These are the same processes again. Next is the global production capacities of bio-based polymers by the region in 2018 and 2023. From the 2018 to 2023, we are executing the polymers. So how we are using them and why we use them. The production of the bio-based polymer has become much more professional and differentiated in the recent year. By now, there is bio-based alternative for practically every application. The capacities and production of bio-based polymer will continue to grow with an expected CAGR of about 4% until 2025. In the 2018, the utilization in Asia was 53. Now it has been reduced to 50, but in other countries it has been increased. So its utilization should be increased, and in the future, inshallah, it will be increased and it will be the part of our life, and we can also synthesize them domestically. Next, advantages of biopolymers. What are the main advantages? First of all, take less time to break, take less time to degrade, take less time to biodegrade. It means as the enzyme depolymerase is used to degrade it, so depolymerase enzyme is obtained from the microorganism and it helps in the digestion or the degradation of the biopolymer, and as a result it takes less time, so it is biodegradable as well, and it undergoes enzymatic degradation, so that is why it is called as biodegradable. It is renewable, we can utilize them again and again in the future and it would not run out. It uses less energy, whether it releases the energy in the form of the isolated product, the product which have been isolated with it, and it is easy to recycle, we can use them again and again. Once they get excreted from the living organism, once they are being used in one thing, they can be utilized again and again. Next are the advantages are they help in complex formation, means they help in the dyes formation, they help to make natural dyes, colored dyes which we use for the food colors as well, means from the biopolymers we can make the food color, we can make the color dyes. So this is how it is being advantageous. It is not cost friendly, it is not too much expensive or not too much cheap, but if it is being common then it get cheaper. Next, it is cooperative weather, it requires cooperative weather requirement, because if the weather requirements are not compatible then they are not being produced, so it requires a cooperative weather requirement and it is being adjusted according to the weather and the climatic patterns. Some biopolymers have poor heat resistance and it is one of the greatest advantage, means it has low thermal resistance. Next is toxic technique, it is non-toxic to the environment. It is one of its biggest advantage that it is non-toxic. Next, basis for future opportunities. First of all, its unique biocompatibility and biodegradability make them excellent candidate for tissue engineering and regenerative medicine. Regenerative medicine means once they are being used in the medicine, they are being excreted by the living organism, some of the quantity in the form of the feces, and from the means as a biomass, and from the biomass they can be extracted again and can be utilized again. So They are being used as regenerative medicine as well. Biopolymers used in tissue engineering, providing support for engineering of future plant-based biopolymers as a good resource with potential application in both biological and non-biological sectors. Scientists are also devising various techniques and synthesis methods to maximize its utility in various applications in the future as well. Next, I am going to conclude my presentation. Numerous biopolymers are available and still being developed for sustained and targeted drug delivery application. Only few of the biopolymers have entered the market, as many biopolymer faces problem of heat sensitivity. As we have talked about that, it is the advantage of them that they have low heat resistance or low thermal resistance. So, but some are not bearable, and some cannot withstand the temperature changes. So that is why they are facing the problem, and they are not being implemented in the industry, or they are not being implemented in the various applications. In the future they can be overcome. And how they can be overcome? We can overcome by understanding the degradation mechanisms. If we understand the degradation mechanism of the biopolymers, we can make improvement in them. We can make their use more common. So this is all about my presentation. Thank you so much.